Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you for a few minutes about the work that Christian Horizons is doing to fight COVID-19. First of all, a huge shout out to our employees, in fact, employees in so many organizations who are providing essential residential supports to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We know you have your own families and your own things that are happening at home that you've got to think about and be careful about, and we deeply appreciate the essential, valuable work that you're doing on our behalf to provide supports in communities. Thank you to families who are respecting the fact that we can't have visitors at this time and that we've had to shut all of our non-essential services. We know that this is difficult, and we look forward to days when that's no longer the case and we can reconnect in person. And thank you to our government leaders. Around the world, we are seeing government leaders step up, make difficult, timely decisions to keep us all safe. We appreciate the work that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is doing here in Canada, and our premiers in so many provinces across Canada. In Ontario, we've got Doug Ford, and in Saskatchewan, Scott Moe, who we have seen just demonstrated day after day their efforts to make tough, important decisions to keep us all safe and to keep things moving forward. We stand with you, and we deeply appreciate your leadership. You know, I look around and I'm so encouraged by the creativity that's happening in so many places. You know, faith communities who are broadcasting online instead of bringing people together, stores that are staying open late or opening early to protect vulnerable populations, and even manufacturers who are shifting their products to create products like hand sanitizer to help us stay safe. We deeply appreciate the work that you're doing, and we encourage you going forward, continue to think about all of the community, including people with disabilities. Please ensure you use accessible language and accessible presentations. It's so important that we continue to remember that our communities are strongest when everybody has an opportunity and everybody is considered. You know, I want to say thank you to our supporters. Christian Horizons provides funding and supports overseas in developing countries like Ethiopia, Guatemala, and Haiti. And I can only imagine how challenging it is in communities that don't have access to clean water to make sure that they're hand washing. It is very complex, and this COVID-19 is a global pandemic. And if it's a challenge for us in Canada, I can only imagine the challenge that it is in a developing community. And now I'd like to spend just a minute or two speaking directly to the people who use our services. This is the most important part of this message. You know, I completely understand how challenging these days are. I know that, you know, for years we've been saying, go out, get a job, volunteer, contribute to your community, make friends. Relationships are critically important. And now we're saying stay home, and that's really hard. I get it. But you have to stay home. You have to stay in wherever you live. You have to contain your movement within those spaces. All of us have to do that. Prime Minister Trudeau is saying, unless you work in an essential role, like at a hospital or as a support staff or in a grocery store, we need you to stay at home and ensure social distancing. There'll be days ahead that we can reconnect and be together and celebrate and contribute, but right now we need to stay home. And I appreciate all of us ensuring that responsibility is met and all of us working together to keep each other safe. But there are things you can do. There's an email address here. We'd love to hear ideas that you might have. We've heard from neighbors to say, can we do yard cleanup? We've heard from families to say, can I deliver groceries or supplies? And we've heard from child sponsors of children who experience disability in developing communities, can I write a letter? We can't send the letters right now. We don't want to contribute to travel changes or travel impact, but we'll hold those letters, and I know they will be deeply meaningful to those children in days to come. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for listening to our leaders and taking whatever steps that we need to do to keep everybody safe. You know, it's together that we'll get through this. Thank you for your time.